My main job is delivering workshops for nursing home residents of all backgrounds, all types, everything from catering, household, reception, right the way through to directors of nursing, assistant directors of nursing. And I love that multidisciplinary part of my job. So we deliver workshops and we train nursing home staff to do death reflections, Caru death reflections, send out bereaved relatives and friends questionnaires to families, friends, and also how to do quality improvement projects, change projects as well. So the idea is that we're supporting good practice, and there's lots of good practice in nursing homes already, and finding the little things that maybe they could be doing better or things they want to improve on, and giving them the confidence and the skills to turn those into change projects to improve things.
Our very first day, everybody got to chat about somebody or multiple people that was a significant loss in their life. I actually was not expecting the level of sharing that happened. Children that have passed, siblings that have passed, and the loss of a parent came up a lot. To hear people in their 70s, 80s, 90s talk about their parents, well, it's really touching. It's heart-wrenching at the same time, but this act of being heard is so very important. To be heard, to be seen, and to know that their stories matter and that their loss matters is huge. There's a mixture of discussion, drawing, and then movement. We would draw anything at all on paper that represents how it is that we feel, and then from that we take it into movement. So we try and embody the feelings from our journey of grief and loss, and try really through this to release some of the emotions that we have, because we store a lot of emotion in the body, and we're focusing on movement so that we can facilitate that release, and hopefully we'll feel better in our nervous system, in the mind, and in the body in general. As you know, we go through the weeks, there's less of the drawing, there's less of the discussion, and a greater focus on the moving, on the having a good time, on the music and the dance that we're doing. For people living with dementia, I'm trying to do one-to-one sessions to focus in by using photographs, chatting about favourite music, possibly bringing in music and song, whether they're singing or I'm singing. So music and photographs are a way in when maybe conversation, as we might usually converse with people who are more cognitively able, isn't possible. You know, dementia isn't just this one thing, or doesn't just look a certain way, and you can have one person with very advanced dementia, one person in the early stages, and so those one-to-one sessions can look very different. Things can be tailored to whatever way the conversation is going, whether there's a loop happening in conversation or not, and it just allows it to be more curated to the person in the room. With the use of photos or music, what's really cool is photos and music have the ability to transport us. Sometimes it just takes a particular song or a particular photo to spark something, to trigger a memory, and all of a sudden a whole new door is opened. But what's great about this is, again, the opportunity to remember. It may or may not happen. It's dementia, may or may not happen. Whether we mean it or not, we can have preconceptions and assumptions about what we think a particular resident might be able to do. And what's really beautiful is when they blow you away, because maybe actually they're just a bit lazy one day and they're well able and they suddenly decide to join in, or maybe I've taught in a different way, or there's a different track on and that's brought them alive, and all of a sudden they're really enjoying themselves, and you're seeing them move in a way they haven't before. You're seeing them be in a group and converse with people and be more social than usual. So it's this kind of pick-me-up that happens in the group through music and through movement.
All of our training is aimed at staff, with the residents in mind all the time. So everything we're doing is person-centred care, palliative, end-of-life and bereavement. We talk about those three things all the time: palliative, end-of-life and bereavement. If you're ever in one of my workshops, you'll hear me say that a lot. So it's the whole way through, but the resident's always at the centre of it. Compassionate care, person-centred care. Everybody wants to know how to grieve. We can't tell people how to grieve, everyone grieves differently, but just the ideas and concepts that can help frame it for you when you are grieving.